keep an eye on Brian Fuller in this race. He's a senior from Springfield. Fuller would have liked to have run a better time in the prelims. Ended up running a 9:16, but coming into the Outdoor Championships had a seed time of 8:57. Last year's winner was Kent Pecora of Dickinson, ran an 8:52. Again, 7.5 laps here in the 3,000 steeplechase with 4 barriers in addition to the water.
Moving on to the final. 6 throughout the flash match. 46 and 3/4 will throw 7. Darrow from Central College will throw 8 at 46 and 11 3/4. And our top runner going into the final, Chelsea Tatlett from Salisbury, finished 3rd here last year. But she has the best today at 47 1.5.
Let's introduce you to our finalists in the championship men's steeplechase. Last year's winner.
Taking a look at an updated standings sheet on the women's side, Wartburg out in front, 34 points, with Wisconsin Oshkosh second with 22, Mount Union in third with 12. On the men's side, Wisconsin Stout 28 points in first. In second, Wisconsin Oshkosh with 21. Carthage is in third with 16 points. Men finishing warming up for the 3,000 steeplechase final.
In the second position, Mike Leduc, he was a scorer a year ago also, finishing in 6th for the Camels of Connecticut College, a lifetime best of 9:01.83. Anders Crable will wear him number 3. Crable, the senior from Pomona, that's her 4th time SCI city champion in 4 consecutive years. He's got a best of 8:59.11, wearing number 3. Number 4, Jack Davies of Middlebury, scored in the last 2 NCAA championships. He was 8th in 2011 with a best of 8:56.44. And the Northern will be wearing number 5 for Bates. Ryan Fuller, 9th in last year's championships for the Pride of Springfield out of Massachusetts. He's got a best under 9 minutes, 8:56.79. Stephen Serene from MIT will wear 7. 8 worn by Trevor Sivorek from the Coast Guard Academy. And he graduated in...
So 10 points awarded to the winner's team. For second, it's 8 points. Third place, 6. Fourth place gets your team 5 points. Fifth gets your team 4 points. Sixth place, 3. Seventh place, 2 points. And eighth place getting the individual's team 1 point. These point totals begin to influence today's outcome on the team titles. Now all set for the men's 3,000 final in the steeplechase. Off and running in the 3,000 steeplechase final. Out in front early, Marcus Hadurl, the sophomore from Carleton. Also fighting for positioning out in front, Brian Fuller, senior from Springfield. He's now out in front wearing the number 6. Fuller coming into the championships, the number 2 seed. Again, he had a time of 8:57 heading into Claremont.
7.5 laps of the track, and this is the only event that will finish on the opposite straightaway.
3,000 steeplechase, unlike the other track events, with the finish down the backstretch instead of the home stretch here.
This is for
70 seconds in and a considerable lead here for Brian Fuller out of Springfield. You see him get a great jump off the barrier, just 1 foot in the water. There we see a stumble. Jared Brandenburg getting caught up in the water, the senior from Wisconsin River Falls. Losing some time there. Bunched up with about 5 runners currently behind Fuller. Leading that pack, Michael Leduc, sophomore from Connecticut College. Fuller right now with about a 20-meter lead here, closing in on 2 minutes in.
Holding on to that rather substantial lead as they'll work their way down the home stretch for the second time.
Second visit down the home stretch.
Fuller, Kramer, then Trevor Siporek running in third.
Currently in third out of the Coast Guard Academy, Trevor Siporek. He's also a senior.
71 seconds.
Watching Brian Fuller right now. He's increased his lead just a bit. Appears to be about 25 meters. The lead for Brian Fuller, the senior, the veteran out of Springfield.
No change on the Steeplechase as well. And it's Brian Fuller, the senior from Springfield now. Kramer leading the pack as they're
Kramer leads that pack with Siporek out of Coast Guard running in third, and on the inside trying to make a move on Siporek, and that lead pack is Bobby Over, junior from Allegheny. Again down the home stretch here, so we keep an eye on Brian Fuller out of Springfield. Just over 3.5 minutes in. In the prelims, Nick Kramer ran the best time with a 9:07.62. Fuller's preliminary time, 9:16.12. They are closing in on Fuller. Nick Kramer closing the gap, wearing the 1 on his left leg. Also getting some competition there on the outside, Bobby Over from Allegheny. 4 laps to go, 3 up front, trailing that 3-man pack, Trevor Siporek. Fuller, with the lead for much of this race, has now given it up. Nick Kramer now in first, the senior from Calvin. Top returner this year in this event. And now he begins to separate himself. Will anyone chase with him? Kramer in first, Bobby Over in second, right behind him. Fuller now from first to third. Kramer pushing, trying to separate himself from Bobby Over. Kramer the senior, Over the junior. In fourth position, Trevor Siporek of Coast Guard. Closing in on 5.5 minutes in as the runners go down the back stretch. Fuller with the lead for a majority of this race, running in third position here as the runners make their way down the home stretch. Kramer's lead, 15 meters. Nearly 6 minutes in.
Kramer, Roper, and Fuller.
And Kramer now really building his lead. It was about 15 meters. It's now at about 30. As he makes his way down the back stretch. Fuller has moved. Initially was in first, dropped back to third. He's now in second position. As we watch Nick Kramer lead this 3,000 meter steeplechase final here on the final day of the men's and women's outdoor championships in Claremont. Kramer all alone and out in front.
And this is Kramer with about 600 meters to go.
7 minutes in, Kramer looking at 600 meters left. Fuller in second. Kramer's lead now at about 50 meters, 5-0. He's at 15, and he just continues to grow that lead. 7 minutes and 40 seconds in. 1 lap left for Nick Kramer, the senior from Calvin. One final visit now down the home stretch.
Jack Davies of Middlebury has moved into third.
Jack Davies out of Middlebury right now in third. Brian Fuller still in second. We'll see if Davies can battle out Fuller. It appears that those two will fight for second place here, with Nick Kramer facing a jump through the water and one barrier. That's all that stands in front of him in the finish line here. Kramer down the back stretch. One final jump over a barrier. The finish line is next for the senior from Calvin, Nick Kramer. It's all systems go as he closes in on the national championship in the 3,000 meter steeplechase. Your champion, Nick Kramer from Calvin. 8:51:01 the time for Kramer. And it's Davies finishing in second. Davies 8:54:61 his time. Fuller ends up in third. Great run by Nick Kramer. Paced himself through this one. Made a move towards the middle of the race. And then ends up dominating down the stretch on his way to the championship. So the 3,000 steeplechase out of the way as we crown Nick Kramer from Calvin the national champion. We'll take a break. Coming up next, relay time. It's the women's 4x1 here on NCAA.com.